Despite the first loss of the season, the team still had its goals in front of them. They retained a positive outlook, and no one was more positive than senior Ben Watkins.
The great Ben Watkins.
Ben, to that point in the first semester, didn't have the most glorious role on the team, but what he did was really important, and he had a servant's heart and was really just happy to do his job.
We knew we had something special with Ben on the bench, supporting his teammates. It really, it was amazing. It's just such an inspiration to your team to have a guy like Ben who was picking up guys' laundry, filling water bottles in our offices at 2 in the morning, breaking down film for a scout, just doing everything that you could do to help the team and put the team first, to be out there.
After sustaining a concussion that kept him off the court for the last year and a half, Ben made his presence felt from the sideline as an assistant coach. But after the first practice of the new year, Coach K made an announcement that would shock his players and change the direction of the season.
We was in a team meeting and Coach K says, Ben, I have to tell you guys something. We didn't know what the heck was going on. It was around Christmas time. We thought he might have been transferring or something like that.
Ben walks up to the front of the room and he says, guys, I got something to tell y'all.
It was the end of a long meeting. Coach said, fellas, there's something that Ben needs to say. He called me to the front of the room and I told the guys that as of tomorrow that I'd be putting on the practice uniform and getting in there, getting in the mix with the guys.
And he tells us he's able to play again. The whole entire room was just hyped because we get Ben back. It's crazy, 6'6", athletic guy coming back on the court to help us.
When we heard that Ben was coming back, it definitely kind of put everything in perspective. Ben has obviously so much passion and cares about us all so deeply, and when he got the opportunity to come back, we were like, whoa, especially in practice, we were like, whoa, this guy cares so much. He can be kind of crazy sometimes, but he's all in about the team.
Ben's transition from coach back to player would prove to be a lightning rod for the team.
And we all know what Ben brought to the team. A lot of energy, always hyped up every single day, athleticism. But hey, end of the day, we love that kid, and just for him to come back the way he did, man, it's speechless kind of say that kid just comes back out of nowhere and just helps his team out. So
things every time Marcus got a dunk or Tim did an up and under move or somebody hit a 3, they had a celebration for it, and that just helped us out so much because we look to the bench for so much energy throughout the game while we're tired or when the game feels deflated and it's not going our way. So when they do that, it's just such a big push.
But when you have Ben Watkins over there, who's jumping up and down like a maniac in uniform and clapping his hands and pumping his fist and grabbing other players and encouraging guys when they come off the court, maybe somebody just made a bad play or two and they're coming to sit down, but they got Ben Watkins there to greet them, telling them, hey, you'll get the next one, don't worry about it, get ready to go. So he just brought a positive energy to our bench and to our locker room and to our practice setting that you can't put a price tag on. You really can't.
That right there, I really believe, changed our season right there.
Coinciding with Ben's return would be the beginning of a captain's winning streak of historic proportions, a streak that would come to define the season.
And then Ben comes back into the fold, and we start to have some success in the league.
I never said anything, but I definitely thought about how I haven't lost up until that last day. But for 78 days, I think it was, that I got to play, Christian Newport didn't lose a game.
Trying to do big things, trying to put this campus on the map, baby, CNU, baby, VA, Newport News. Hey, watch out for his world. Coming. We coming. It's the key to success, baby.
The captains kept winning and crushing and dominating every team in their path.
At this point in the season, halfway through, we see our potential. We see the talent we had, and like the bond the team has on and off the court. We knew like this team can go as far as we like put our mindset to.
We're not laughing at our opponents. We respect every single one of our opponents because we know any given day somebody can be beat. So like just going out there and playing the game that we love, that was just all the happiness that we needed. We didn't need to try to like humiliate our opponents because we know anybody can be beat.
In practice especially, it became much more competitive. At that time, like we were like, okay, we're winning a lot of games here, but each day we need to come in and get better as a team and kind of push each other to be the best that we can.
Through the streak, the captains thrived on the road, taking pride in their routine and their us against the world mentality.
To be able to kind of bond and fellowship with each other was really fun. Even though missing classes usually isn't too great, to be able to spend that one-on-one time and kind of develop your relationships is a pretty unique opportunity that only really sports allows.
Just us being together, like it's just a great experience. If you ever get to see us interact, we talk about this all the time within ourselves. We're like, man, people who aren't on that team probably think we're weird as hell because like we're always just doing crazy stuff. Like we're just always like play fighting with each other, just joking on each other the whole time. And it's not just us. Like we get the coaches involved and everything, and they're firing jokes back, play fighting with us too. We're just one big happy family. Like I would go on a road trip with these guys any given day.
We made a lot of memories. Coach K even got into all the joking we all did and everything. So, you know, the energy was just really high at that time. It's something that really couldn't be stopped.
It's a good victory, fellas. Yeah, bring him.
In a battle of the top two teams in the Capital Athletic Conference, and a win tonight for CNU here at the Mag Center in Salisbury, Maryland, would clinch the regular season title in the Capital Athletic Conference.
No road game would prove to be a stronger test of the team's mettle than a trip to Salisbury. With a CAC regular season title on the line, the captains returned for the first time to where their season ended almost a year ago.
Going into that game, there was no sympathy to be felt.
And playing at Salisbury, I love it. I mean, as a competitor, and you gotta love playing at Salisbury because it's gonna be intense. The crowd's gonna be yelling at you, and I think as an athlete, that's kind of one of the things you really live for.
We just knew that like we had to go in there and handle business. We know playing Salisbury is gonna be tough. Playing at Salisbury is gonna be tougher. Their crowd is crazy. Their new coach is crazy. Like their players, they have great players, so we know it wasn't going to be easy.
Here we go, the captain's inbound. Rayshard Brown across midcourt, 15 seconds left. Brown's going to take it himself down low. Off balance shot, no good. Captains get it back. Three ball from the left wing, no good. Tipped out. Captains get it back. 5 seconds left. Reginball for three, no good. Rebound, Daly puts it back up, and he got fouled. Tim Daly got fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Another game against Salisbury, another game going down to the wire. With less than a second left, Tim Daly, with the captains trailing by 2, had the opportunity to send the game into overtime with 2 free throws.
Comes over to the bench, and you could tell he was a little bit nervous, a little frazzled. Free throw shooting's been a challenge for Tim. He's improved greatly at it. And I just told him to smile. I told him to, you know, I said, I forget what I said, but I finally got him to smile.
Only person who talked in the huddle was Coach K. All he said in the huddle was like, Tim, smile for me. That's it. Just smile for me. Like, you're in the arena, you're good. You're in a place where a lot of people wish they were.
To have it come down to the very end and to be able to kind of send us to OT with those free throws was definitely something that I won't forget. I mean, when they first fouled me, at first I was like, oh no, now I'm gonna have to shoot with like a half a second left. And everyone is going to be yelling at me, but then I kind of went back. They tried to ice me with the timeout. I kind of went back to the team, and they were just like, they just acted like so nonchalant, like it was no big deal. Like, yeah, you're going to make them both, and then we're going to go to OT, and we're going to win the game. So definitely that timeout was really big for me, particularly. The team really just did a great job of calming my nerves down and telling me that no matter what, we're going to be okay and we're going to live to fight another day.
Daly sunk both free throws, and the Captains outwilled the Seagulls in overtime.
It's like a whole nother half, pretty much. I mean, we tied up at 0-0, and then we got a couple minutes to have more points than they do. So it was really a mental dogfight with sometimes it just take heart to pull the game out, and I feel like we kind of just let it all out. We just let it all out. We feel like we broke them in that overtime. We just let it all out there.
5 seconds left, 2-point game. Seagulls come across midcourt. Ahead, Whitmer for three in the corner, partially blocked, and the game is over. And the Captains win it by 2, 61-59 in overtime. Your final score.
The Captains had clinched the regular season conference championship and looked to close out the season at home on senior night.
Yeah, I mean, that Marymount game on senior night was so special for the program, for those guys. You know, certainly we wanted to have success in that game. Marymount's a very worthy opponent. We've always had really tough games with those guys. You know, and when you're that close to doing something that's that special, you get a little nervous. You know, are the guys gonna, you know, is this gonna be a tough moment for them? Are they gonna play tight? Are they gonna be nervous? And so we were worried about that, and that went away very quickly with Ben Watkins in the starting lineup, who goes to work right away, scores the first 4 points, and that everything took off from there. And to see Ben and Hunter and Connor have that kind of game at that moment, that's just, you can't write a script that's any more pure than what we had on that day. And I know there's memories there that they'll have forever and our program will have forever. And it was so much fun to be part of that.
The Captains cruised to a victory, but it was one play by senior Ben Watkins that made the biggest impression on the team.
Leading by 30.
Absolutely, look out.
Breakout. Watkins.
Oh, senior day, Ben Watkins. Throw it down, Big Ben, throw it down.
Ben's dunk, I was right behind him, and I never seen that kid run as fast as he could. I mean, he tipped the ball, and this kid just took off. I mean, you thought the headband was going to come off. His head was just tilted backwards.
That is probably beside the free throws, that's my single favorite part of the year. I mean, Ben, when I talked to Ben about it, he said he doesn't remember it, but when he was in that game, he played so well. And when he got that steal, his eyes lit up, and immediately the whole bench got up and started yelling, and to see him just put it down like that it was just kind of, everything just kind of came full circle at that point. Like, he was so happy, and I know that he will never forget that for the rest of his life.
Honestly, the play is honestly, I mean, the entire night on the floor is honestly a trance. I barely remember what happened. The only memory I have of it is in the form of video from family and friends. So, I mean, I tapped it out, broke away, took a couple dribbles, just praying I wouldn't dribble it off my foot or anything. Just jumped as high as I could, cranked it back, and flushed it.
If that play defined, like, our season, I think it defined that, like, everybody matters. You know, Ben doesn't play a lot, but when you get in the game, you got to make an impact in the game. And he did that. And, yeah, he didn't play a lot the whole year, but when he did towards the end of the year, especially in the NCAA tournament, like, he made his presence felt. And he really helped push us to a place we've never been before.